What do you got going on?
I got nothing. Before you get into whatever you want to get into, we have to address. Uh,
Oh God, don't start with this shit.
what do you mean? Don't start with this shit.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, where am I going?
Go ahead, just go ahead. Just you know what? He doesn't listen anyway. Obviously,
We had a. Well, we don't know that. We know that he does. He hasn't. He's pretty much cut off communication to you.
right, right.
Right. We've discussed. Well, you've discussed no longer discussing it on this podcast, but I don't know that we could do that because I think that doesn't help you with your stuff in the basement. I think you need to take a beating
No, but listen,
and do this
listen.
match. If he's willing to do it, he may not want to do it anymore. He may be done with you.
Maybe. Well, before you know, what, I'm burying. I was about to bury myself even more. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. Listen. All I'm saying is that he's been silent, dead silent. Have you talked to him at all?
No, I have not.
When you comment on his stuff, does he respond to you?
Well, I haven't commented on anything. I mean, I'll like something he's posted, like a photo,
Right.
but I haven't commented anything. Not since no, I haven't commented anything he's done. Just tagged him on our podcast post. One he commented and said, "I'll take a listen," and then after he quote maybe listened to it, he's done. He hasn't said anything.
All right, so we're talking about Billy Fives, if you don't know,
It's
and
just it's just weird. I'm saying that you called him out to have your final match with him, and then
right.
he said, "I'll listen to the podcast." He listened to the podcast, I think, and now we can't. Nothing we post or tag him in, he replies to, and that never happens. So I think I think he took it the wrong way, and
Okay, so there's two things. There's two things. One, I this morning went and liked a whole bunch of his posts just to try to get a reaction. I didn't comment. Maybe I commented on one, nothing, right?
but
So
he's
there's two
talking.
things
Is
here.
he talking to other people?
Of course. So there's two things that happen here. One, he didn't listen and just doesn't care, right? There's three things. Three things.
But he's always listened when he said he was going to listen.
Okay, well maybe he didn't. Two, maybe he doesn't like, he doesn't want to hurt me, or he knows that I really don't want to get in the ring, so he's like, if I just ignore it, I'll go it away. Or three, is it possible that Billy Fives is scared?
Oh my God!
And he's like,
Wait,
and he's like,
you.
I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying, is that a possibility? That
Listen,
he's like,
for someone
in his mind, he's like, I'm like 50 something. This guy is
Oh
he's
my
only
God.
40.
for someone who was nauseous the other day, thinking about him taking this the wrong way, or just the reality of actually getting in the ring with him again, and realizing what you had done, and being like physically sick to your stomach thinking about it, to now you got the sack on you to fucking
I mean,
to maybe imply
I just worked out.
this
so maybe it's
cowardice.
the adrenaline.
Oh my God,
Maybe it's the.
you got too much of a
But
pump going.
I'm not saying that's what I am. Just saying that what if I mean, I think he didn't listen. That's what my thing. I think he didn't listen. I didn't think he didn't listen.
Well, I think maybe we're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to get to the bottom of this. I don't know if it's today. I don't know if it's next week. But at some point, we're gonna have to suss this out and find out whether he watched it and what where his mood and mental state are towards it.
Well, can we talk about something else?
Yeah.
Every time we talk about this, I bury myself even more, and you just let me.
Yeah, well, I can't control what you're gonna say, and I'm not gonna cut you off because it's good stuff.
Who are you gonna do the podcast with? Is Billy gonna take my place?
If you're dead, you mean?
I mean, if I have to have my jaw wired shut.
Oh well, I don't know. I got options. I got lots of options.
Got options. You got options.
We'll do the
Anyway.
We'll do the rotating fill-in host thing, not host, but
Yeah.
fill in. Co-host. Uh, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I got
Anyway,
this is like remember I prepared a whole list of people when I was going to replace you
I
the other
know.
day. So
I
those
know.
people are still on that list. I still have that list. I don't even have to commit it to paper.
Anyway, let's talk about something else. I'm
Okay.
not. It's over. That whole thing. He's not. He's not going to accept the challenge, and that's it.
I mean, you better
So let's
hope
move
so at
on.
this point.
Let's move on. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I got a good story. I think this is a good one. You ready
Okay.
for it?
Yeah.
All right. So everybody, if you listen to the podcast, through the last couple months, I was filming my son's basketball games, his high school basketball games. I was the camera guy, right? I'm the guy. What are you doing over there? You ruined the story. What are you doing?
Nothing.
You're making a lot of noise.
There's no noise.
Bullshit.
It's not
Anyway,
like you when you're about to cook dinner and it sounds like the Marlins won the World Series and you're banging pots and pans
oh,
out in Hialeah. Okay, out in the streets of Hialeah.
anyway, so I was the film guy for my son's basketball team, the high school team.
Not only
So
were
the
you the film,
banquet,
not only were you the film guy,
right,
but you were the color
right,
commentary also.
right. I mean, I buried the players, the coaches, the referees, the other team. I mean, I was. If you watch the videos and you listen, like I mean, I'm a horrible, horrible like parent. I would not want me touching the camera. I tell the coach everything he does wrong, how much he sucks, how much the kids suck. Even my own son, the referees. I got a couple warnings this year, but it's all on video, right? So anytime the coach went to watch, he would have to listen to me go, "You fucking suck. You made the wrong decisions. This is horrible. Worst program ever." I called the one kid the turnover machine every day. So anyway, the banquet was Sunday, and we get to the banquet, and it's you have to dress a little nice, and we're there, and the banquet starts off with first, everybody says hi, whatever. We sit down, and he starts the. This is, I mean, I'm talking starts the banquet. Welcome to the 2021 season banquet. It was a tough year. Blah blah blah. We're going to start off with some thank yous, and then we're going to talk about our sponsors, and then we give out awards, and dinner will be served. Okay, cool. And the first thing he thanks, he goes, I just want to start off by, saying that, it's in the beginning of the year, we wanted to film all the games, and previous years we've never filmed before. And, we were like, we're going to film. We paid for an app so that we can watch other teams and this and that and the other, and we can critique ourselves. And the app does a lot, da da da. And we had no one to film. And Mr. Giannetti here stepped up to the plate, and he said he would film, and I'm like, oh no, here we go. And he's like, Anthony was instrumental this year, and Nick is looking at me with his head like hand over his head, kind of, but like looking to the right at me, like smart, because he knows, right? Like, and Nick's like, I can't believe this is happening. So he goes
The,
on this
the,
whole thing.
the coach didn't give him the Iggy, huh? Didn't say I'm gonna.
No, no. So he does this whole thank you to me. Like, I mean, it's like a monologue. And then he goes, and since he's here today, let's give him a round of applause. I got a standing ovation. They were like, yeah. And I could not stop laughing. Like, I was laughing. And as this is happening, the lady behind me at the table leans over, now that only I can hear, and says, and for your amazing commentary. That's what she said to me. And I'm laughing, and they're giving me an ovation. Yeah, yeah. And it's like over with, and Nick just looks at me. He's like, I cannot believe that just happened. I was like, I got to text the guys. I got to text them. I cannot believe that. Like, he knows how much I bury them in the like, he listens to it. And
Everyone listens to it. Yeah, it's the game
right.
film. Yeah.
I got the thank you, the standing ovation here. Then he comes over to me and hands me a card, like he got it like Hallmark, and it's a thank you card with all the coaches signed thanking me, and inside was a gift card to a local restaurant.
I
Yeah,
I, I had I had predicted it was going to be Applebee's,
right.
but it wasn't.
Applebee's, right? No, no, but I could not believe that. I mean, if I was him, A, I would have had me stop filming like week one. B, I would have never gave me a standing ovation. I wouldn't even have mentioned it or an award. No way,
No,
right?
I
I
mean,
mean, what do you think?
other than like, especially since it was he played it straight. You know, if it was like a goof that at the end, like the intent was to basically kind of like heckle you for basically being a troll, and or I don't know what it is, not a troll, but like an obnoxious uh,
Right,
sports parent, you know, uh, uh, and a guy that knows better than the coaches and all that stuff. I would have made a speech that kind of said, you know, and a guy who coaching from the the stands, and I would have made all those kinds of jokes and kind of ribbed you a little bit. But this was like genuine. It seems like, which yes is very weird.
right,
Yeah,
right. Like it was genuine, and I mean, genuine, and like in his mind, doesn't he know? That was my first. Like he's got to know, right? He's got to know.
right.
He can't not know that I buried him and told him how much he sucked for 30 games.
Well, it even I mean, because not only, I mean, you assume if anyone's watching the game film, it's the head coach. You know,
Right, right.
and then
Had
like,
to be.
aside from that, anyone else that's watched it, like in the coaching staff, maybe I don't. I'm like,
Right, right.
wouldn't they say something to him like what you're gonna, I don't know if, see, I'm an instigator, so I would be like, you gonna take that, you gonna, I would fuck with him, but maybe they're all were scared to say anything and figured if he didn't say anything, they're not gonna say anything. I don't know, but then the parents wouldn't say anything, or none of the kids are talking about it. It's so funny that it's like everyone's
Right.
aware of it, and they'll come up to you like individually and say how much they like they're entertained by it, but that you know,
Well, and I'll tell you this. So, and it's funny because a lot of the kids, and they come in like, I'm the cool dad. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
well,
I'm the dad who wears, I got my basketball shorts on,
if
my
you do
tank
say so
tops.
yourself, yeah.
Well, compared to the other fathers, like I'm the cool guy. Like the kids can come out here, they can, they play basketball, whatever. Like I'm not, I don't care. I'm cool like that. So
Right.
they're all like come up to me and they give me the pound and they're like, "Oh, what's up?" Everybody, and of course they know I'm a TikTok star, so that doesn't, that helps the
Star.
fact there. So, but no, I'm serious. Like, so I'm like the cool dad, so they get it, But I don't think anyone would mess with me. But the fact that the coaches did that, like, that's hilarious. And I got a gift card to a restaurant. I mean, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. The whole thing
Hilarious.
is hilarious. Every step of it.
Right, right.
So I guess
Yeah. So
I guess if you were to still be in town next year, and and your kid was still on the team, I guess you'd be filming again next year.
yeah.
You didn't get
I mean, I didn't get fired. I guess I got. Did I get like promoted? Am I
well.
like
Well, I mean, not only did you not get fired, but you got rewarded. You got a bonus.
Right,
You got a performance bonus.
right, right. And it's funny because the gift card. I don't know how much is on the gift card, but when I opened the card, I didn't open the card at the thing. I waited till I got home and I opened it, and the gift card looks like it. Like I'm not even being like don't. I'm not being ungrateful. I'm not being a dick. It looks like it was used. Like, so the best rib is if we went and there were like, so there was only $2.64 on this gift card. That would be the rib.
Well, oh, like he got it from something, used like most of it. Yes.
Yes, yes. That would be hilarious if he did that. If I went and it was like, sir, there's only like $1.62 balance on it.
Right.
That would be funny.
You know,
But I don't know how much is on it. He didn't say. He didn't write it on there.
Right.
The card looks like it's been swiped 45 times already.
Well, maybe the restaurant themselves recycles them. Maybe they can re-put money
Could
on
be.
it.
Could be.
I know that. Say what's funny is if I were to give you a card that was like used, you would
Right?
know because I always write on it in Sharpie the balance.
Me too. I do that all the time.
Oh, I thought I was special. Look at this.
No, no, I always do that. I get my wallet. I got a whole bunch with how much, but Yeah, this card just looks used. Doesn't look like it's. I don't know. I don't know. There's no number to call, and it's to a local restaurant that actually sponsored us. They were our sponsor. So yeah, not sure. So that's my story.
Yeah, I wonder if they were, it would be funny. This would be funny too. Like since they're a sponsor, then maybe they
Right?
they gave a bunch to the coach. Like I don't know if he ever took like the kids there to eat once or something, or if they were for
Yeah,
they're
it could
like,
be right.
or if they gave them to him to hand out to the coaches or something. Like because they're sponsor, maybe they stroked him a few freebie cards. It would also be funny.
Right, and then you just gave it to me.
It would also be funny, not only if it was like a
Mhm.
free. I mean, if it was a free, if he didn't buy it, it's not the end of the world. It's still kind of cool because it's still got
Right,
value. So he's still giving you something worth something. But
right.
it would be funny if it was originally 100. He used exactly $50 and then gave it to you,
And
and
just gave me
and
50.
and you think it's $50, but you don't realize that they had already used $50 off of it.
That would be funny.
It's like I'd be like, can
Yeah,
you take exactly $50 off of this, and I'll pay the balance in cash, so I have $50 on this card, and I can regift it.
that would be funny.
I'm gonna do that.
Oh, here we go.
What do you mean?
We'll
Here
do
we
it
go.
now. The place I've never been there, so it's a sponsor, like I said, but I've never been there, and it's called Whiskey Tea's Grill House and Bar. Not a bad name, right?
No, it sounds like it's got promise. Like there'll be something good to drink and eat there.
Right. So I went to go look at the menu because I'm curious, obviously, to see what they got, and their
Is
menu
that
page says
is that your is
under
that your sexuality? Is that your food curious?
yes, and it says menu under construction. So I found the Facebook page, and I said, well, let me go look on the Facebook page. There is not one fucking healthy thing on that menu. I will tell you that. It is like shrimp and grits and like French toast and I mean it's all that southern type food that
Oh yeah,
like
country
right
fried
like
steak and
right. So
everything's
there's nothing healthy there.
everything's breaded,
Cheeseburgers and
fried, cheesed.
I mean
Yeah,
you got to see that they got like a
I love that kind of food though.
well they got like pancakes and then they got like fried catfish and they got like French toast and they have like a shrimp and grits with like jalapenos and yeah.
But it's not a breakfast.
Now
But it's not like it's. You keep mentioning breakfast foods. Maybe that's because we're inclined to foods, and we are called the Breakfast Club here. But it's like a pub, right? They just also serve breakfast
no
like on the weekends or something.
No, it looks like so. I don't know. So they have Sunday brunch 11 to 5. But here's the kicker to all this.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the pictures because again I've never been there. First of all, it's not in my town; it's the next town over.
strike
Then
one.
I'm looking at, but I'm looking at the pictures, and I mean, there's people in there smoking hookahs. There's looks like a nightclub at one point. People dancing. There's a bunch of guys sitting on a pool table. Like I'm thoroughly confused as to what this place really is.
It sounds like that place doesn't know what it wants to be, as being too
Look
many
at this.
things.
Saturdays they got a DJ from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. So yeah, this is. I mean, they got hookah. They got. So I don't even know. I don't think I can take the kids there.
I mean, take them for the brunch.
This looks. Yeah. I mean, the food looks out of this world. Don't get me wrong, but they got a little outdoor patio. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, yeah. Oh, look at this. They got a nice seafood gumbo.
Can't. I can't say I've ever
Yeah.
had a seafood gumbo. So
Me either.
yeah.
Just look good. So yeah. Anyway, but that was the story. I couldn't wait to tell that story today because
I'm really. I'm
I thought it was
dying.
exciting.
I'm dying to know the amount on that card.
Yeah. So I will come back our next podcast with the amount.
Yeah,
How's that sound?
that's a. I got a huge curiosity going on for that. I don't know. I guess you have to. I don't know if you have to. Go there and use it, or if you can
Yeah.
check online because this doesn't sound like the kind of place you can check online your balance.
Yeah. I will.
So
I'll
we may,
check that.
we
Yeah.
may we may get a and a report on how much was on it, and then also what you got there, because I assume you only want to go once and actually just use it then.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I may not be going right now. Don't tempt me.
Listen, you never know. This sounds like kind of place that may not be in business 3 months from now, so you don't want to. You,
True. What a rib that would be.
you don't
I'm
want
like,
to.
oh, I'll wait till
You don't want to miss out on your $14.92 of free food.
right. That would suck. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's it. It was funny. That the whole thing was funny. I don't know. And then we'll see what happens next week when I come back with my, or Friday when I come back with my report on how much is on there.
Tell the other story you told me today.
Well, so this there's two parts to this story. So when I was in high school, I had to kind of think about this. So, well, I'm going to actually tell a story, go backwards, and go forward. Anyway, when I was, this has two parts to the story. So when I started wrestling, my first wrestling match was at the what's that building called in Fort Lauderdale? The Howard Brody ran there once for Ring Warriors. I think I worked Beast or something. Uh, I don't remember what it's
Where
called.
in Fort Lauderdale? There's lots of venues in Fort Lauderdale.
It's that like it's like a war memorial, right? Not the war memorial, but it was one of those like those war, I don't know, military centers
Like
that
an armory.
VFW, like an armory, yeah, armory.
Okay.
So my first match was at this armory, and in this match, it was me. It was my real brother, not Eric, because me and Eric had tag for. It was my real brother Joey. He wrestled for a little bit. It was me and him. We were the original Vandals, and our partner was Soul Man Alex G. That was our partner, and we worked against a tag team. And this is totally a sidebar to this, but it's funny. There was a tag team we wrestled. Their gimmick was they were two surfers, right?
I know.
They were
Yeah.
surfer
Yeah.
dudes.
Yeah. Yeah. I know those guys.
There was they were called Shred and Wet Willie. That was their names, right?
Tuttle, and the other guy. I forget his name.
Yeah. So, and their partner was a guy named Jeff Roth. So Jeff Roth was he was he he had done a couple different gimmicks. Before that, he was I don't know if you remember back in Florida, they did a Dudley Boy gimmick, him and Anthony Michaels, and they were like an offshoot of the real Dudleys that were in ECW. Anyway, he was in the match, and Jeff Roth, his gimmick was like he was a teacher. That was his gimmick. And like during the match, he would like read books and use books and stuff. So, I don't put two and two together. Anyway, we have the match, blah blah blah, and he's like, this is in 1999, 2000, and he's like, I think I know you, and I said, you know me, and he's like, I know you, like I've known you from before wrestling. And like the whole night we're trying to figure, how the fuck does this guy know me? I don't know him,
Yeah, and
right?
you don't recognize him at all, right?
No, not one bit. I have no clue who he is. So we're going, and finally he goes, where did you go to high school? I said, Olympic Heights in Boca Raton. He goes, I was your teacher. I'm like, my teacher? He's like, remember social studies? My teacher got sick and he left. Like, he like somewhere in the middle of the year, he disappeared. He got sick. I don't know what happened to him. This guy was our teacher. He was our substitute, but he was like a substitute that stayed a really long time.
Right.
And, I don't remember, in my defense, because I really never went to school. So I don't remember this guy, right? And when I did go to school, I fucked off. I didn't pay attention much.
Yeah.
I went to the gym. I was a football player, and I'll admit it. I got through school because I could play sports. Like, there's no way I should have ever passed high school. Anyway, I missed Spanish class that year. It was first period. I missed, I think it was 127 days of Spanish. That's how many times I was absent for Spanish class. I just didn't go. So anyway, this guy was my teacher. Now I'm wrestling him like a year later, right? Or a year and a half later. And he was like, I was your teacher. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, Jeff Roth, I'm thinking, and his name was like, Jeff Rothberg. Well, he was Mr. Rothberg. I'm like,
Right.
oh shit, right? So funny story, and I'm like, wow, whatever. Well, we became friends, obviously. Just
How how
he's a
much
really good dude.
how much older than you is he?
So he's probably, I'm 40. I'm gonna say he's not much older than me. He was young.
Okay, so
So
he
when
was
I
he
was
was young when he was a teacher for you. Okay.
it was his first like gig out of college.
Oh,
Like
okay,
this
okay,
was his
okay.
first gig. Right, right.
All right.
So he was young. So anyway, maybe he's 5 years older than me. So maybe six. But so we became friends, over the time, and obviously, and to this day, 2 days ago, Bobby Rogers made a post on Facebook and about something geographical, and Jeff Roth wrote on the post because it was directed at me. He wrote he wouldn't know he never came to class when I was his teacher in geography, social studies, because I didn't. You're right, like I never went. Um, but it's funny because he was wrestling at that time too. I just never knew. Anyway, fast forward, and this is kind of just part of the conversation. I like Jeff. He's a great guy. We hung out a lot. Once I started wrestling, he was my first match, and we worked each other. I don't even know, a million times we wrestled each other. Always easy. He was just super easy. He used to do a comedy spot where he did a flying eye poke. So he'd come off the top rope and poke you in the eye, and the place would go nuts because it was fucking funny. It was like it wasn't serious.
Right.
Um, and like during the match, he would do something, and he'd have to like take a break to go read the book, and the book would tell him what to do next. And the book would be like a social studies book, or and then he would do the next move based off what the book told him, right? Then of course he would use the book in the match and hit you in the head with the book, whatever it may be. So anyway, uh, fast forward to years later, we hung out a lot. There was one point where uh, Bobby had all season passes to Universal Studios, right? Um, Now, for the record, I don't know how Bobby paid for that, but he got them. Whatever. Somebody else probably paid for it. If you know the history of Bobby Rogers, which we'll have him on one day to tell it. But we all had season passes to Universal Studios. So we were in Universal. It was the night that the Patriots played the Oakland Raiders in the Tuck Rule game, right? If you remember the Tuck Rule, that was the night Tom Brady he got sacked. Raiders recovered it, scored a touchdown. The field was covered in snow, and they said no touchdown. It wasn't a fumble. It was an incomplete pass, right? That's what
Right.
happened, right?
Which
Right,
which started this run of Super Bowl wins.
right,
Like if they didn't get the
right,
Super Bowl, does he even does he even start next year, or does Bledsoe come back?
right,
It's
right,
one of those questions.
right. And so it was that night. We were at a hotel across the street from Universal Studios, and we had gone to TGI Fridays. Was in the parking lot. So we went to Fridays. We ate. We were having some adult beverages. We get back. We're all watching the game, and we we you know we got the adult beverages going, and all the wrestlers are there. We were not wrestling that weekend. We were all just going to Universal Studios. It was me. It was Eric. It was Jeff Roth. It was the Snake Master of Buddha. That's a key part to the story.
Keep
Key part. Bobby was there. There was a couple like of the wives and girlfriends there. Not me because I was single at the time, but there were some other women there, that were there for the Vandals. But anyway, so we're all in this hotel room, chilling, hanging out, we're drinking, and Snake Master, Buddha Dean there, Jeff. I don't know they got into an argument. Him and Roth got into an argument, and Abuda Dean has been around wrestling since the 70s. He managed Kevin Sullivan. Like, he's got a giant snake he takes to the ring. Like, he's been around forever. He's fucking like 120 years old. So we're in this room. I don't remember what the beef was. They started arguing, beefing. I don't know. They were going back and forth. They were jaw jacking, and the steak master of Buddha Dean says, "You make me a drink. Make me a drink." Like, he was just snappy about it. And Jeff Roth was like, "You make yourself a drink." And they kind of went back and forth, and Jeff Roth said, "I'll make you a drink. I'll make it. You know what? I'll make it." So he's in the corner. He's fixing the drink. And me and Eric look over, and he's got his thing out, and he's mixing the drink with
What
his
what
fucking
what thing?
his peen. His peen. He's mixing the drink with his peen. He's literally stirring the drink with his penis. Right?
I I have so many questions that I don't think I can ask on this about that. Like,
I think it was out of anger. Like, fuck this
no, but
guy.
I mean, like, how do I even go about this? Like, I mean, I guess he's just dipping his dick in the drink, is what we're saying.
Right.
He's not like
Right.
giving it a good stir, because
Oh, he fucking no! He gave it a swirl. Like he swirled the dick in there. Like it wasn't just he swirled
can
it
we can we
because
can we discuss? This is like after a whole day of like activities, right?
right. We had already gone to Fridays. We were watching the game. We were drinking in the room.
So
I think
he's
we went to
got
Universal during the day.
yeah, so
You
he's
know,
got like all kinds of swamp crotch going on down there too.
oh, This is late in the day. Right. Right.
This is
So he gives it
a full day's worth of life.
right. So he gives it a swirl. Right. He gives it a swirl, and he gives Jeff the drink, and me and Eric are like we don't know. Do we say something? Do we not say something? Do we,
I definitely
right,
would
like,
never ever say something.
Jeff and Jeff knows we saw. So like we all three of us kind of make eye contact, and in that moment we decided, fuck this guy. We ain't saying shit, right? Well, he hands it to him, and he's like, "Here's your drink." He goes, he hands him the drink and goes, "It's I stirred it well." And I fucking lost it. I lost it. Like I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard, and I just I fucking lost it. And he doesn't even think about it. He takes a drink. He goes, thanks, and he drinks it. He puts it to his lips and he drinks it. And I am on the bed. I am laughing hysterical. Like I can't breathe. And now Jeff Roth is laughing and Eric's laughing because now I'm laughing, so they're laughing, and we're the only three.
This sounds like my story with my dad and my family where we were all
right.
laughing.
Only certain people know. Right. So, and Jeff drinks it. And he's like, "What? Why is everybody laughing? What?" And that's how he talks.
Right.
You know what? And we're like, nothing. And he drank the whole drink. Now. We went to Universal the next day, and he knew. Ended up telling him what happened. So he ended up like somebody said something, and they were like, "Oh, your drink, And Jeff Roth's like, "Yeah, I started with my dick and whatever, blah blah blah." And right, like so he knew, and Jeff's like, "Whatever, it tasted great," like he doesn't give a fuck. It was a funny rib, but again, to this day. This was Jeff Roth's birthday. Was a couple, or no, it was my birthday. I think it was on, and he wrote on my Facebook for my birthday. He was like, "Happy birthday! I'll make you a drink," and that's been the joke forever. And there's actually been a few times where I was around him, and I met him for lunch one time, and where he lives out in Charlotte, and he was like, "You want a drink?" I was like, No. Like, I know never to take a drink from that guy ever.
Right.
Who knows? But that's the running joke to this day that, and everybody knows the joke now because that was like, for years. You're talking, this is in early 2000s, 2001 or something. I don't even know, 2002. But that was always the running joke at shows and everywhere. Like, so somebody would be like, "I need a drink," and be like, "Hey, Jeff, he needs a drink." He's like, "I got it." And then you would have to wonder, damn, did he do it again? Like, I don't know.
It would be funny if I had known that story. I think I would just till the end of time refer to his dick as a swizzle stick.
Yeah. But and it's funny because when I told you before about it, I started thinking about like, man, there's so many stories from that time when I was wrestling in those early days that I can't tell. There's just like I can't tell them. But there's a lot I can tell. Like, there's a lot of stories I can tell of things that just happened. Like, and talking about that day.
What's funny is I don't recall if we ever actually finished the story about how you might have killed Kurt Hennig.
No, I didn't kill. Don't say that. Somebody's gonna hear it and think it's. We'll tell that story. Maybe we'll tell that as a special story one day.
I mean, I
But
know you didn't, but that's a joke. I'm joking when I say that.
right, right. But I will tell that story one day. We need to tell it.
Yeah.
But speaking of this night, with the incident with the dick swirl and the drink, and I want to say it was like a vodka cranberry. That's the best part. I think he was a vodka cranberry. He started his dick in, so he probably had a little red dick, but from the cranberry. But that night, what happened? The Raiders lost. The Patriots won, like we said. That night turned into, which I may have told this before, the night where MVP tried to throw me out of the car.
Yeah.
And it stems from that evening, because we're in the car driving down Alligator Alley, and I said, this was like literally like the next weekend. I think that happened, I think we went during the week, and then this was the weekend. So we're driving down Alligator Alley, and if anybody knows, there's nothing there. It's just road for, I think it's 90 miles. There's no one rest stop, and that's it. I said, it was me, MVP, Billy Fives, Eric was with us, and Johnny. And I said, man, that was a really good game the other night. And Billy and MVP are Raiders fans. And he pulls the car over on the side of the road. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, what'd you just say? And this is MVP. He's driving. I'm sitting in the back. Billy's in the front with him. I'm sitting in the back with Eric, and Johnny's in the way back. It was the expedition. And I said, what do you mean, what did I say? He's like, what the fuck did you just say? I said it was a good game the other night. And he's like, what game? I said, the Patriots and the Raiders.
Jesus.
Like, I'm fucking 19 years old or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like oblivious. You don't understand. You don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I was older than 19 at that point. I think I was 20, maybe 21. And I'm like, I don't understand what your problem is. He gets out of the car. I was like, what is he doing? Billy's like, yep, you're fucked. I was like, Billy, save me. Like, you're like my wrestling dad. If I don't come home, my real dad's going to be really pissed at you. And Billy's like, there's nothing I can do. So comes around.
It's all in the Lord's hand now, yeah.
Right. He opens the door. MVP opens the door. And he's like, got me by my leg, and he's pulling me. I'm like grasping. I'm like holding Eric. I'm like, save me. Eric's like, I'm not getting involved. I was like, you motherfucker. Like, he's going to leave me here. In the middle, Alligator Alley is nothing but alligators. Like, I'm struggling. All of a sudden, my saving grace is George W. Bush, because George W. Bush's presidential bus comes by, because he was running for president at the time, and it goes by, and MVP lets go of my leg, runs to the other side of the car, and he's like, fuck you, George Bush, fuck you, fuck you, and he's like, you motherfucker, fuck you. And I'm like, close the door. So he closed the door. He like comes back to the door, and the door's closed, and he's like, didn't want to open it or whatever, I don't know. And he gets back in the car, and he slams the door, and he's like, you lucky George Bush just saved you. And I was like, man, I was just kidding, man. I was playing. He's like, you weren't fucking playing. I was like, I mean, and Billy's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I was like, all right, my bad. I'm sorry. And we continued on our way. And then he tried to speed up because he wanted to get up to George Bush and flick him off, but we never caught up to him. But George W. Bush saved me from being left on Alligator Alley. That was... Yeah, and I know I've told this story before, but that's the first of 2 times he tried to leave me. So I should tell the second time again for our new listeners to refresh their memory, because it deals with Billy, and this goes right into me wanting to kick Billy's ass in a couple weeks or a couple months if he decides to take the challenge.
What happened? What did you take some spinach while we were talking? You're like extra pumped up now. You go from
Well, because I thought about it.
What a mistake!
Let me tell you what he did to me.
Okay.
No, fuck that. The second time we were driving, and it was me, Billy, MVP, David Babylon, Eric, and Johnny. This time, Eric was in the front seat with MVP. I was sitting next to Billy in the middle row, and the back row was Johnny and David Babylon. I was cramping. We had just wrestled the night before. It was like a brutal match. I was hurt. And Billy said,
What do you mean
he said,
cramping?
what's wrong?
Like a thigh or a calf or
Yeah, like
what?
my right leg was hurting, and I was
Okay.
like, I think it was my thigh. And Billy's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "My thigh hurts. Like I got hit. I think we wrestled the Sheen twins, and they were two big fucking monsters." So I was like, he goes, "Well, put your foot on the middle console to stretch it out." So I take my shoe off, listening to Billy. We're in MVP's car, and I put my leg just, I stretch it out on the armrest on the front seat. And he looks over as he's driving. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I said, "I'm stretching my leg." And he's like, "You just disrespectfully put your foot on my car like that?" I'm like, "What are you fucking talking about?" I'm like, "I'm stretching my leg." I said, "Billy told me to." He pulls the car over, Alligator Alley.
Oh
I'm
man.
like, "Oh, here we go again. Fucking round two." He comes around and he's like, opens the door and he's like, and Billy's like sitting next to me. So he's like, tells Billy to get out. And Billy's like, "Okay." I'm like, "You motherfucker." I go, "You told me to put my foot up there." He's like, "This ain't fucking Billy's car." Billy's like, "It ain't my car." I'm like, and Billy's standing behind him, like egging him on. I'm like, "Billy, you told me to put my foot up there to stretch it out." And Billy's like, "Sorry, it's not my car." And he's like, "It ain't Billy's fucking car."
Jesus
He
Christ.
just was, and I was like, "But," he's like, "Why the fuck you listening to Billy?" I'm like, "Oh, fuck, good question. Why am I listening to Billy? Now I'm gonna get kicked out again." So he's taking me out of the car, like he's pulling me out of the car. And David Babylon in the back seat goes, "Hey man, come on, you got to stop. Don't do that." He literally throws my leg down, turns around and grabs Babylon by like the throat, like by his shirt, and he's like, "Oh motherfucker, you getting out of the car now?" I was like, "Oh," so I like scurry back in as far as I can, like I like get all the way in the corner, and he grabs Babylon, and him and Babylon are struggling, and Billy's like, all right, come on, that's enough." He's like, "You disrespectful motherfuckers." So like Billy like calms him down. We get back in the car, and I was like a sheep, like a little sheeplessly like 21-year-old kid, and I'm like I was petrified, and I just look over at Billy like a little sad puppy dog, and as we're starting to drive back, and Billy just goes, I'm like, "You fucking motherfucker." He had this evil little grin and look on his face because he knew when he told me to put my foot up there, I was gonna get fucking kicked out of the car. So uh, we ended up getting home in one piece. But yeah, we talk about that story all the time. Billy tried to get me kicked out of the car. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Billy. We're not fighting. It's a joke. Don't listen to this.
Jesus, you are the biggest flip flopper I've ever seen. Oh my god.
So yeah, but well, that's all I got this week. I'm worked up now. I'm pacing around my room. My heart rate's up. I'm breathing heavy.
Yeah,
You
that's
got me worked up. You got me worked up.
you you're a little too aggressive here with Billy. I think it's going to get you in trouble.
No, he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to the podcast.
He does he did when we tagged him the last two times. This time I don't know what happened.
No. He doesn't want it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it.
All right.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, let's just not tag him this time.
Well, that's not going to happen. We brought his name up like 20 times. That's like saying Beetlejuice
That's
3
like
times.
he's gonna appear.
He's going to not he's going to appear, but he's going to like haunt us, just like Beetlejuice. Stick on the line when we close this off, and I got to talk to you about something.
That sounds official.
Well, it's not official. It can't. It's not something that needs to go on out to the airwaves.
No.
So
All right. Listen, I know you're going to the buffet after this. It's okay to tell everybody.
I'm not. I'm literally not. I'm done eating for the day. I have somewhere else I've got to go.
Right.
But yeah, I guess everyone just stay tuned because there may be a execution to either attend or watch online in a few months from now if Billy ever decides to respond to your. I don't even know what to call it. It's not a call out. It was like, I think you were trying to.
It was a mistake.
I think you were trying to give him a kind of an honor, but I guess working you isn't much of a.
No. No. All right. That's it.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, there's something weird going on, but anyway, I've I've got something I have to play for you that actually came in while you were.
Came in?
Yeah, I got a message from Billy.
Oh, stop it!
Literally came in while we were doing the podcast.
Because you guys are fucking with me now.
Nope. I swear it came in. My thing's muted because I'm on the phone with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this. I haven't heard it yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna play it over the mic and see if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Janazo, been waiting on an answer? Been shitting yourself, expecting this answer? It's here. Was at the asylum yesterday with Gangrel, J.R. Ryder. They were asking me. The answer's yeah. You're getting in the goddamn ring with me, boy. Call me out. Then try to backpedal on the next freaking little podcast. There's no running. There's no hiding. We both know I'll find you. Your safest place to be with me is in a ring. Get your fat ass into shape. Because there's no avoiding it. Gangrel's agreed. You're getting in the ring with Billy Foz one last time. And one last is because you're retiring, or one last is because I make sure it's one last. I don't know.
Oh my god.
You should have played this.
I got it. Like I literally saw it after I hung up with you.
He's gonna kill me.
You're fucked.
I can't. But the scary part is, I am not even worried about him. I'm more worried that I can't get in shape for it.
Well, you better, because either way you're taking a beating. You might as well be in a little bit better physical condition.
This is bad. I don't even have a ring to work out in.
Well,
I'm gonna call Cody. That's it. I'm going to the Nightmare Factory.
You better figure something out. Just mention Billy. He'll understand.
I'll understand. This is awful. I don't really want to work him.
Because now I'm going to tell him that you listened to his message on the podcast. He's going to listen to the podcast and hear all the shit talk you just did.
This is so. You're an asshole.
Like some kid who thought, like some 15-year-old that thinks he could take his dad and starts giving him lip. This is what you did on this.
That's what it is.
This is.
Oh, I'm crying.
You're fucked. You're fucked.
Oh God! All right, I gotta. I should. You know what? I should order a pizza tonight.
I mean, whatever it takes, right?
I should order a pizza just so just to get my mind right for my training regimen that's about to happen.
Oh my God! Yeah,
is this gonna be at Gangrel's show?
Yeah, it sounded like you said Gangrel.
Oh my God! At least I'll have people there to witness.